Right, let's see if that old boy fits. Right, 1, 2, well that's nice. 1 in there, 1 in there. Give it a fluff. Right, that nice. Anyway, we're not here to do 3D printing today. We've got something else to do. So those in my class on Mondays, and all those who need to know about shop turn and like this might be the video for you. So catch you in a bit. All we need to do is start somewhere. So we're going to go to our program manager to create a directory where we want our parts go. So this one here. So you'll see these 9 buttons here. They are when you use the software, it's on your train. Those 9 buttons are together as such. It's a keypad and this here. So this you'll be using your keyboard for these characters and the number pad for this. You'll just navigate through the actual thing. If you've got touchscreen TV, even better. But unfortunately, most of you haven't. So you'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and go from there. Now, these cursor keys, you'll find those on your cursor keys as you go through the bits and pieces. Input, you won't get an input on your keyboard. You have to touch the one that's on the screen, okay? But on the real machine, or I've just pressed Program Manager, okay? And I'm just, so if you had this closed like this, use the right cursor key, open the tool program paths, and I want to go in here. So now what I've done here, this is Eng 412 turning, which is what you're actually doing. What I'm going to do is create a new directory there. So you know this key here that you see here jumps from one to another. Okay, so new, and we want a directory. Then we go from there, and this is going to be 24-25, and you put the space. So that key there is the space, and that's Eng 412, and that's what we are. Okay, that creates, so if I cancel that creates our new directory, and our new program is going to go in there. So that's that one there, and make sure shop turn is on, not this one. We'll make sure shop turn is on, and in that yellow bar there, we're going to add our new our program number, NCL 2024012. That is for the crank bush. All you got to do is OK it, and it opens up the program like this. So at this part of the program, when you get to there, once you create it, it may come up like this, or it may come up like that. Now, if it comes up like that, you just overwrite. If it builds a program like this, what you need to do is make sure that you can use the right arrow key on your keyboard. That opens that up. The units what you want, if you press select here, it goes inch, metric, metric. This is our G offset. This is workpiece reference. Whereabouts is the front face, because we work from 0 to minus. If you're going to do 10 mil depth hole, this is where it's going to come from. So I press select. I can select any number I want. If I press shift, I can do that number in reverse. I want 57 on that one there. This one, when you use the down arrow key again, it goes to yes. Okay. My ZV is how much material is sticking out of the chuck. Bearing in mind, this does not count for the material in front of the Z0. So if you want to face off a bar, you would probably stick out an extra millimeters. When you stick out an extra mil. What I'm going to show you is going to make sense in a second. Okay. So here I want at least 30 mil sticking out the chuck. There's the 30, and that's all it is. Okay. Now cylinder. If I press the select button, I can change that to a pipe, a square, so this is end corner, means it might have more than the standard one. So 6 is a hexagon, octagon, 8 sides. You know, 4 could be the square, but that's already taken account for. You might have a triangle shaped material. You'll then stick that in here. Okay. I don't want that one there. I'm going for cylinder. The next one down. Well, how big is your work? 3/4 inch is around about 19 mil, more or less. I'm going to call this 20. Because I don't want the tool to smash onto the workpiece. So just go, if it is 20, you put 20. If it's like 3/4, just 19 mil, 1905 or something like that, just stick 20 in there. Now, just gone down too many. ZA is how much materials in front of the Z0. We're going to say it's 1 mil in front of the surface. So what I need to do is make sure I've got 30 plus this 1 mil, so 31 millimeters sticking out from the jaw to the end, from the jaw to the front of the workpiece with the material you need to clean off. Now, ZI or ZL, whichever way you want to see this, that is the length of the bar. So obviously I've got to hold in so much in the chuck. So our parts are 30. Bar is going to be half meter length. I don't want to show 500 mil worth of bar. 100 mil is good enough for me. It must be minus because it's that way of the surface. ZB, well, how far is the chuck jaws away from the Z0? Mine's minus 30 in this one. Simple. So this is a retract system. So in the X, so from the center of the spindle, it will retract 61 millimeters away. From the front of the workpiece, as you see here, it will move to 5 mil in front of the workpiece, which is this Z there. There's no tail stock, and we'll leave these as they are. 100 for these are our positions. 100 when it does the tool change. 100 in the X and 200 in the Z. So it moves it way ahead of the doodads. Right, SC safety clearance. We're going to put 2 mil on there. If you accept that, that's your first job. Okay, now I'm just going to hit simulation here. There we are. Comes up with the bar. As you can see here, you remember when I said it's 30 mil from the Z0 to the chuck jaw. The rest of it's in there. So if I press the minus button, you can now start to see that's the length of the bar. I don't need 500 mil of that bar sticking out, just enough so I can do my part. We press positive. See up here, press positive to get there. Now, there's Z0 line. There's the 30 mil. So that's what we set. There's 1 mil in front of the Z0 line. This is what got to be faced off. Now, when you saw, it could be cut at an angle. It could be cut like that. It could be cut like this, or whatever. So that allows us to clean that surface off. Right. Come out of simulation, just press simulation. So what I want to do now is actually face the job off. So it's a turn on operation. So I'm going to press this one here. And this is going to be stop removal. So press the soft key there. And here we go. So the first thing we want to do is choose a tool, what we want to use. So as you can see, select tool. Out comes my tool list. And you can now start to see I've got a roughing tool and a finishing tool. Okay, both got 0.8 rads on it. So I'm going to use the roughing tool to rough the majority of this bar down. So okay that. And then feed. So for this particular one, I'm going to go 0.1 millimeter per rev, and the surface constant cutting speed 90. But what I will do is change that to roughing, and then you can now start to see that if I keep still, it will get the tool out and actually run this as we go along. So there you are. So depending on how much material's got to come off the front, that's this action is going to do to face off your part. Hope you can see that nicely. Now if I press this one, longitudinal, and let that run. So now it takes its first cut, rapids out, feeds it on. But we are facing the bar off, and this is how we want to do it. Right, so face, that's what I want to do. So when I'm facing off, that's the one I want to use. Face off, 20 mil was the bar, so this particular corner is 20 mil. Now when it's about 19, we don't want to crash into it, so I'm going to call it 20. This one here is how much material is in front of the surface. This here is how much you want to go through. So you see as it feeds through here, I want to go past the center line, so I'm going to minus 1.6. This one here is, well, where's this face? That's Z0. So 1 mil in front is what was left on it, that's Z0. Depth of cut, 0.5, you've been doing that. it's a roughing cut. That's get rid. There's only 1 mil in front of it, so I'm going to go around 0.7 on that one. Let's smash this bit off. How much do you want to leave on the inside? 0.2 if you want to leave that one there, or at least 0.2 on that one there. 0.5 on the outside face. That's good enough for me. Accept, and go hit simulation, and you can actually see what this particular one does. This first cut, this is second cut. All right, to slow that down a bit. So if you press program control, you can manual override. So if you see when I press this, look at this. This value starts to reduce. Okay. Back, hit reset. The reset button there, and then press that one there to run it again. You can now see it move in a smaller and slower pace. So that's that one. Come out of simulation, and then go for it. Now I want to finish it. So you see this little triangle shows that it's roughing. Okay, all I want to do is finish that, or do I want to leave it on there and let the profile tool cut that off as well? Right, so I'm actually going to copy, and when you hit paste, it puts it directly underneath. Open it up. The only thing I want to do is change that tool. So select tool, and use the other key, use the finishing tool. That's that. Okay, that. Right, so now I've selected the finishing tool here, and now I'm going to keep, everything's going to be the same. All I want to do now is change that from a single triangle for roughing to a triple triangle for finishing. Okay, and then accept. That's all I need to do for that one there. So we're going to just check that, open it. There we are. That's what it's going to do. Facing, it goes from 20 to there, like that. Now remember, the other one had a 0.05 millimeter sticking on the front face here. Okay. Now when you press finishing, you don't want to leave that. It wants to make the machine straight to 0. And that's what the difference is. So now I accept that simulation. So I have one tool to rough it. So just in case it's a little bit out of whack, the front of the bar's doing this. And then you get the next tool that comes and finishes that one off. So that 0.05 has just now been wiped off. Right, so there we are. Now if I just shrink this, so if I go for anything in red that you see here is in rapid, anything you see in green is for so I'm just moving the position. This is machining or feed, whatever. So I only need to see half the job. I can increase that size like that. Right, looking at the drawing, we have a spigot. That's of diameter 10 mil, F7, and that spigot has a certain length. At the front of it, we have a leading edge of 2 mil by 15 degrees. And then we have a head, up to the shoulder. The head is that's 13.5 diameter, and then the overall length is 22.5 mil long, as seen there. So now we've faced it off, we now need to make sure we can machine the spigot. So this is quite good the way this programs this one. This is the shape we want to do. We want to machine a line like that, a parallel line like that. We want a shoulder, and then we want a head of the bush that we're doing. Right, we'll do the drilling, and we'll do the drilling afterwards. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to take myself around the back of the building and give myself a good slap, because I forgot to press the record button here. So during the meantime, I'm slapping myself to death. Could you, well, if you liked, smash the like button, subscribe, and put on your notifications. That would help my channel grow quite nicely. It's not all lost there, boys and girls. What I can do is run my simulator at home and capture the screen to show how I run the contour. See you in a bit. From our editing page, we go straight to conturn. Careful how you say that. And then we need to call it we need to create a new contour, and we need to name it. So we use bush ODs on the live, so I'm going to use the same one. have to hit underscore, it won't accept their space, ODS, there we are. So it's asking for a start position, okay? We know if you see with the mouse click on the right hand side on the drawing, that's our start position. That's going to be X0, Z0. So just hit escape, okay? Now, all I need to do now is to add a vertical line. So from the center of this, I need to go vertical, which is that one there. And I don't know where that particular point is. I can guess to try and get 15 degrees. Let's see if this works. Accept. Yes, that works. So what happens is I've put a vertical line in and I haven't told it where the end point is. What it's going to do is he's going to calculate everything for us. But I do know where this point is. That's 2 mil down in the Z and up at 10 mil. So that is an angular line, which you need to click this crosshairs here. And I know that's going to go to X10 and that's going to go to Z -2. Make sure you put it on the right side. And this 180 minus 15 degrees gives us 165. 165. It will do the rest for us. And if I hit accept, it puts the angle in and it knows where this point is. Next bit I want to do is this horizontal line from that intersection that we just created there to the shoulder there. This is quite easy to do, this one, because it's a horizontal line that we choose. What I want to know is where's the end point. So 22.5 minus 4.5, that leaves 18. So that's going to be minus 18 in that position there. I always put the points in, just a force habit that I used to do, that most of us old boys do anyway on the CNC machines. Anyway, so I'm happy with that point. I accept. You can now start to see it's drawing the profile. I now need to do this small vertical line, all right, and that's going to go to 13.5 diameter, and that's just click on that line there. The X is now going to become 13.5. Accept. There's the little short upstand for that one there. We have the length of the head, which is at 4.5, as you can see here. Now, I've got to be careful here because I want to go past this, but don't finish there. So what I'm going to do is add 3 mil for the parting tool, plus another mil to compensate for the radius at the end of the tip, okay? So I'm now going to go to 22.5 plus the 3, which is 25.5, plus another 1, which is 26.5. So that's going to be a horizontal line. There we are. Minus 26.5, that goes in there, and we end up with that line there. I only want to do one vertical line from there to there to come out of the bar, and the bar we're using is a 20 mil bar. I'm going to hit vertical here and go to 20 mil there. Come off that, accept. There's my contour. So if you see my mouse, we're going to start at the black dot here. There's with black, so you can just about see it's orange. We're going to start there at a start point. Going to go to produce this line at 8.928. It's calculated where it was. The next line is at 15 degrees at 10 mil diameter, 2 mil depth. Then we go to the shoulder at minus 18. We come out to the OD of the bush, which is 13.5. We then go past. We go past our end point at 22.5 to compensate for the radius of the tip and the width of the parting tool. And then the last line comes out of the bar at 20. Actually, I'm going to re-edit that and call that 21. Accept that. So that's how easy it is. If you make a mistake, you can just edit that. And at the end, oh, there we go. We don't need to do anything else. Accept. There's our bush ODs. If you want to check it, click on that. That's the contour on the machine. I'm now going to pass you back to myself, back in the video, and carry on slapping myself. See you later. You can now start to see. You're going to go to the center of the bar, machine up to that point. We're going to machine to that. That's the leading edge. Machine the parallel part up to the shoulder, across here, and out of the workpiece. If I accept that now, you can now start to see, well, what's it done? It ain't done nothing because you've got to choose the tool to go with it. And here we go again. Some technical difficulties here and there. So once I overcome them, got this little short bit of video back. I'm going to resume, slap on myself because I need to check my equipment before I start using it. What a donkey. Never mind. Here we go. So we finished doing the contour, and as I said before, just accept that. And what it does, it comes up with this, and it don't do nothing. You need to set up a tool to actually do that. As long as you're in contour turn, I also be careful how you say that. You now need to look at the stock removal of that. So I'm going to just click this stock removal, and we're going to be set up some parameters I want to do straight away. So in this bit here, we don't want a rough. So that's a single triangle. We don't want to finish on its own. That's a triple triangle. But what we can do is rough and finish with the same tool. I will be using the finishing tool. So if the tool's not in that T bit, select the tool, highlight the tool that you want to use, and then OK that. The feed rate and the surface speed is going to stay the same. And when you look at this, if you just hover over it and just wait, it would come up with a little box saying this is what this part is. So this is the finish speed. So I've halved that to 0.05 per rev. Now you need to be careful how you choose this. As you can see on the graphic, the tool is working from the front to the back. Okay, so contour parallel actually does that. When you select this bit here, you've got a drop down menu. So outside is what it's doing now. Inside is what it does on the inside. We're not using that one, so that's not applicable. The front, this means that it's going to go from the back to the front. Not very good for your tips, because instead of pushing the tip into the seat, it wants to pull it out of the seat, which is not very good practice. Unless your tool can take it, but just take it from me, it's not very good practice. And going to the final one, the rear, where it's doing that. Now, if we had a twin spindle, this would be appropriate. We haven't got that, so we're going to have to work on the outside and work from the front to the back, as you see there. The next one down, DX, is going to be the depth of cut you're going to take. 0.5, that's basically 0.25 per side. You can increase that if you wanted to. I'm going to increase that to 0.8 on that one there. The DZ, how deep does it want to go in the Z axis? So obviously it's taken 0.8 depth of cut from the outside diameter, but when it gets to the shoulder, it's going to leave. It wants to see how deep you want to go per side. I'm leaving it at 0.5. Then UX is how much material you're leaving on the surface. I'm leaving 0.2 on this one. Some materials don't like to be too, let's say, some materials do not like to have too small amount of material to come off, because sometimes the cutter doesn't actually cut and shear the material, and you'll end up rubbing. So you'll end up going through a lot more tips and not achieving any good finish on that one as well. So depending on the material, you might want to increase the depth of cut. Sometimes 0.5 is good enough, so that's 0.25 per side. And then you get others that are 3D machine at around about 0.1 cuts and stuff like that. The UZ, so in the roughing cut, if you look where the mouse is, this green bit here is how much you're going to leave on that shoulder. Now, we need to leave some material for the shoulder for the finishing pass. Again, it's a cylinder, and we just refer back to the size of the bar. You remember I said we're going to go out to 21 mil. I need to make sure 21 mils in the XD. You see this XD, orange writing, XD. So as it goes in, it goes out to 21 mil. So you're giving it some clearance as it comes out. ZD is how much material is in the front of the workpiece. Okay, now we left 0.1 on, so I need to leave 0.1 on that one as well. Hopefully it'll be okay on this one. And FR, if you just hover over it, insertion and feed relief cut. So this is what it is going to go 0.05 per rev as it inserts the cutter. I'm going to see if this one works. Accept. And at this point, I'm going to hit simulation. Setting the scene. Bar comes in. There we are. Using the finishing tool to machine the outside edge. And every time it wants to come out, it's going to 21 mil. There we are. Bosh. You want to have a look at the 3D view. There it is. Just zoom in a bit. And just, let's twist. Pan. And you can see the green lines. I'm just going to go to side view again. You can see this. You can see the green lines of how the depth of cut that is chosen. Now, if I want to go really small, there'll be more of these green lines. If I want to go a deeper cut, there'll be less of the green lines. Just remember, the red is rapid, so you want that coming away from the workpiece, and the green is actually cutting the workpiece where you're getting that to actually machine the parts as well. You might find that the 21mm overall diameter that I've set up at might cut fresh air for the first bit. If you want to rerun graphics again, hit the reset button, as you see there, the 2 slashes, and the green button up there for cycle start. Reset the material, there's the front face, and there you go, it's machining. Beautiful. And if it's going too fast, remember this feature, program control. And if you look where I'm clicking the mouse where it says 100, if you press override minus, you'll then reduce that. So we're going to go down to, I'm going to go around to 25%. Back to the, that one swaps the menu, so I'm going to go back to there, hit the reset, cycle start, and you can rerun your graphics, and it's going to be a lot slower. So that first cut missed. So it could be, I could safely go to 20mm bar if I wanted to, but I'm going to just leave it as it is for clearance. It doesn't hurt. Now, if we were running 50,000 on these, I would be wiping that out to make sure I'm actually cutting on the first pass. Right, the outside contour is what I'm going to call it, or the outside profile. It doesn't matter, but away we go. So, want to come out of simulation? Click on simulation. So these are my lines that you see. Now, I can't zoom in, or I don't know how to zoom in on my screen on the video, but I'll see if I can do this little bit. If you see where the mouse is, you've got the contour and the stock removal. These icons mean it does something. Now, there's a little link that links those two together. Let's run that old boy again. Let's check that one. There we are. Yeah, that does miss that first bit. I can reduce that outside down from 21 to 20. It would take a hit from the first pass. As I said previously, I'm leaving as it is. You're training how to use this, and you'll get your, you'll manage your techniques at how you want to, or you might have your arm behind your back where your boss is saying, I want that faster, faster, faster. So it's coming down to quantity, not quality sometimes. But then again, the tools we've got nowadays, where you can actually whack a lot of material off and have the same quality as what we had before, and they last longer as well. So get the speeds and feeds right, they'll last for a long time. Get them wrong, let's say you blow your profit on your tips that you waste. Okay, right, that's the end of this video, but for the next video, part 3, it's going to be doing the drilled hole that we got up there. We need a spot drill, 5.7 drill, and a 6mm reamer, which I've showed you how to do that in video 1, how to load those up. This is the simulation. On a machine, they have to be physically in, and the tool lengths set up as well. So, and then once we've drilled the hole, we want to part it off and produce this rear chamfer before we finish parting off. We're not going to set up a secondary up just to do a chamfer. We do that on this job. It's quite good. You start a job from the beginning, go all the way end, and as it comes off, it's actually complete. Minimal deburring where you part through the workpiece into the hole. You need to clean some of that up because you're not going to avoid it. It will happen. Okay, so thanks again for watching. That's the end of video part 2. We've got one more left to go for this particular part, and then there'll be a supplementary part 3B, if you want to call it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.